What's going on, people? And welcome back to Totalozspurs and third game of the season. Bournemouth away this Saturday, 9:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And boys, before we get into it, how's you going?
Going good, man. Yeah, good.
No, going good, bro. Going good.
I'm good. It's a lovely cold night here in Australia, in Sydney. As you can all see, we are wearing our jumpers. But what's not cold is that like button, because I want to see that being smashed. So make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below what you think about the video, guys. So we are into the third game of the season. One win, one draw, and we have Bournemouth away, who are the team that came up from the Championship last season, came second. They have only got 1 point from 2 games. They played Liverpool in their second game last week, and they played West Ham, which was a draw in their first game of the season. They actually dominated the West Ham game in terms of possession-wise, had more shots on target, didn't have as many shots, but beat West Ham in pretty much all the criteria for stats, and then it was pretty much roles reversed against them. So, boys, first of all, are we confident for this weekend?
I am. With the way we're playing, we're just going to... Okay, look, we haven't got Mads now.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, but let's just get into what I think. I think we're still going to dominate the possession-wise, the passing-wise. I don't think it'll be clinical with as many goals, but I think we're going to dominate this game and just shut it out. From the get-go, we'll just be all over them, and then that will be it. They'll have nothing. They'll tire out, and then we'll just let loose.
I have to agree. I have to agree on Brad. I think possession-wise, we'll dominate. You see in the last 2 games how much possession we'll have, how much time we have on the ball. Our defense is looking pretty solid. Romero's, not as rash as he used to be. I think because he's got, a good partner, Van de Ven, next to him. So I mean, he's actually, maybe can grow into a great defender. So, and also, you look at the Brentford game? Yeah, look, they're going to be. Brentford was dominating us, but then we were controlling most of that game. So I mean, yeah, look, it's gonna be a good game to watch. I'm looking forward to it. I know everyone else is. All the Tottenham fans are looking forward to getting up and watching the game or going to the game. I think we're all excited because we're actually seeing some exciting football coming out of this club. It's good to see. So I mean, look, I'm excited, and yeah, I think I'm positive. I think we can get the win.
Yeah, see, I'm actually going to disagree with Brad. I think we are going to score 3 at least. I don't think it's going to be a tight game. Bournemouth seem to have played. They don't seem to go into the show as much as Brentford. I think Thomas Frank knew what he was getting into. He was probably one of the only managers that came out in full support of Ange when he first got signed, and was pretty much like, you need to watch this guy. His style of football is very, very, very hard to deal with. So I think we're gonna progress another full week of training under Ange. We haven't seen any personnel come in, but that's for another day. We're here about the Bournemouth game, and I think we will overpower them like Liverpool did, especially going forward, even without the likes of Maddison. So touching on that, Maddison, I did a video yesterday where Mads out, Gio in, or Lo Celso in. And pretty much I was saying that if Maddison is injured for this game, or we're not going to risk him, I feel like Lo Celso has to be that one that takes that cam role. I've heard a few shouts about Kulu moving inside and having Porro or Solomon play out on the right. What do you guys think? Do you think we go with Gio, or do you think the rotation of Kulu going more central, like Ryan Mason did at the end of last season, is the go-to for this game?
We can't knock what Ange does, because whatever he's done the last 2 games has worked. I'd like to see Lo Celso start, but then I'd also like to see Kulu get off that wing into the middle and see what he can do in there. So in my opinion, either way works. You get Porro attacking that wing. You get Kulu through the middle, which we know Kulu can score if he has a game. And then, but Lo Celso can dominate like Maddison does in that midfield. And he's proved it in the preseason as well. So I'm happy with either option, in my opinion. If whatever happens, happens. Because I know it's going to work. I'm not worried about it at all.
I think I have to agree with Brad. I think maybe putting Kulu in the middle may, we've seen what he can do under Ryan Mason. He has the strength on the ball, off the ball. He can fend players off. So, I mean, he's great on the ball. But then I feel like Lo Celso will suit him more than Kulu because Lo Celso he's played it more. So, I mean, and plus Lo Celso could drop deeper and, defend as well. So, I mean, I think more like I'm pushing towards Gio. I think he, what he's done in the preseason, he's actually, shot me. Like I don't think I was going to see any of that through preseason for him. No. So I mean, for me, I think he deserves a shout. I think after what we heard, the reports of Ange breaking promises and all that stuff from reports, I think maybe now is the time for Gio to really step up and show Ange what he can do and fight for that spot for Madison. So I mean, look, it's not the greatest replacement, but I think he can do the job. He can do the job, taking that role from Madison. So I mean, yeah, I think my selection would have to be Gio.
There's something that you said, Brad, that I really want to touch on, and it's something that a lot of the Tottenham fans haven't really thought about because it's gone kind of under the radar. You said I'm not too worried if either replace Madison because I'm quite confident in their ability. We haven't had look back to last season when we didn't have a creative midfielder at all. There was no Gio, there was no Madison. Kulu was playing out on that right continuously because the system didn't suit a cam. This season, we have Madison. Gio looks like he's up for it. But if those two aren't it, we can put Kulu in there. How nice is it to have options where we can rotate people to fit?
100%.
And I think Kulu will become a number 10, a number 8 behind the striker. I feel like that's his role. Number 10. I don't think he's got the pace, the agility. I don't think he's got the right foot to be able to play on that right wing. Whereas Robin had great dribbling, great shooting, great vision. Kulu's got glimpses of that, but he's no Arjen Robben, right? You both make great points. For me, it's got to be Gio. I feel like he showed real tenacity in the preseason games. I feel like he's done bits for Argentina, and the managers that he's come under, Mourinho, Conte, Nuno, they've never played him in that system. I mean, Mourinho kind of played him a bit, but he was still playing the box-to-box midfielder. In this role, he's going to be playing the link between midfield and attack. Yeah. And the way he was, and like I stated in the last video, he was playing with the second team. He wasn't playing with a Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Kulusevski, Basuma. He wasn't playing with that. He was playing with Sarr, Skip, Richarlison, Solomon, Perisic. He was playing with the second team. So this is a great indication. And like you said, Delane, I personally don't think those rumours are true. I think Lo Celso has been a bit upset that he hasn't had game time yet. And someone's perceived that as, he wants to leave. But I want to see what he can do. And I feel like he's the only player that deserves a second chance out of all our subs because I feel like he can bring something to the squad. And that's what we need in squad depth. But we won't rag on too much about the Madison situation because I feel like it's going to be, I think Lo Celso will be the one to go into. Do you feel like there's any more changes we need to make to the team from the United win for this game against Bournemouth? Because there was a few players that underperformed. Richarlison was very poor. Son and Kulu were very poor in the first half. I think they were the only three that the front three were pretty poor. Everyone else kind of did their job. Porro was great once he kind of leashed Garnacho. Adoji was excellent again. Van de Ven and Romero were they played together for years. Vicario having a stunner. The midfield three, any one of them could have got man of the match. Do you make any changes for this apart from the Madison change? Just not talk about that. The others. What do you reckon, Brad?
Throw Sonny in striker, Perisic on the left.
My man, that's
Straight
what I
up.
want to see.
Or get, is it Villiers, the new one we signed? That's
Striker.
Villiers, yeah. Throw him in.
You can't do any worse.
Like, what?
mean, look.
If he scores a goal, he's better than Richie already this season. But
I
in
don't
my
think he's
opinion,
ready yet.
my opinion, drop Richie, throw Sonny on striker, throw Perisic left wing, and then Perisic comes off at like 70th minute, throw Sonny back out to the left, and throw Villiers in the middle, and give him 20 minutes in a Premier League game to see if he's capable. Richie's played 2 90-minute games, and hit a post and got a ball saved. Like, he's had a couple of shots. Just let this game, in my opinion, against Bournemouth is to see this young kid come out and play. But I'd start Sonny and Perisic straight up, and then Solomon or Porro on the right with Kulu in the middle.
So you drop both Richarlison and Kulu.
No, if he
Kulu
does it
plays
where
in the
Kulu plays in the middle with Solomon or Porro on the right, and then you got Perisic to the left, which we know he can feed Son. Then it'll be like that Kane and Son pairing like it used to be, because Sonny knows how Perisic does, and it'd work.
That's a good insight. D, do you reciprocate the same thoughts, or you're going to mix it up? You're going to throw a little spanner in the works?
Nah, I think
He'd say put Dyer on.
if it was as much as I love Richie in how he plays, it's this is final touch, or just I don't know what it is, man. He just can't really get his foot wrapped around that ball and just score. So I mean, I have to go with Brad. I think he might have to drop Richie and put Sonny in the middle, put Perisic out on the left, and then
that'd be dirty.
If possible. Well, I don't want to drop Cooley because I know what he could bring that strength in that squad. So I mean, but I do. From what I've seen from Solomon when he came on, I do like what he was bringing. He was he held Shaw off the ball and like big defenders. So, I mean, do we give Solomon a shot? Like Bournemouth are not. No, they're not the best team, but this is the time for like the Perisic, the Solomons, to really show what they can do, and try to fight for their spots. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Solomon come in.
But you see, these boys, we're talking about the team right now, and it's like you said before, Jay, and I said before, anyone can play in this team at the moment. Like, our signings, it's like we're not. Last season, we were like, oh, who's going to play it? Now we're like, throw anyone on right now.
I think it's to do with the system.
The system works.
Ange has got into a system that has suited all his players, and the ones that don't suit, he's not playing, and that's like the Dyer, Tanganga, like those players. I'm going to disagree with the Richie. I feel like for me,
I knew
the reason why I've got to get it out. So I think we have 4 games until the big run. Right?
Yeah.
For me, I feel like Richie hasn't had any service in the first 2 games. I feel like he's still trying to find his feet in this system. I feel like the team in the whole is trying to find their feet in this system. If he doesn't score in the next 4 games, dropped. Actually, no. I'm going to say that if he doesn't score the next 2 games, drop him. Because then we have Sheffield and we have Burnley. Right? They're the 2 teams that you can chuck on Son through the middle to get the rhythm going, right? I don't think we drop him just yet. However, I'm also going to disagree on the Kulu. I will not drop Kulu unless Royal is playing right back. The reason why, if Porro's behind Kulu, I feel like they're going to start. Sorry, I've gone a bit black. My screen's just turned off again. It fucking always does this when we do videos. I feel like because Porro's more attacking, we can lose a bit of the defensive capability of Royal to push Porro forward in this game, and Kulu can start cutting inside a bit more and linking up with Lo Celso. If Royal plays, then I feel like you have to go with Solomon or Porro on that right side to have someone that's actually going to go at the defense and whip a ball in or something like that. That's just my opinion. People might disagree. Kulu hasn't been great since last season, start of the season, even before the World Cup. He's been quite poor. He hasn't scored any. He scored like 2 goals last season in the first couple of games and got injured and did nothing for the rest of the season. So That's just me. But for everyone else, Adoji stays, Van de Ven stays, Romero stays. I would have Porro stay in there. I feel like Porro did really well. I know I was bagging him out on the stream with Garnacho. He let Garnacho have a shit ton of space, but he seemed to kind of get himself together towards the second half when the team was firing. There's no way you're dropping Basuma, Sarr.
No.
You know, them two have to play. I don't want to see Skip and Højbjerg.
The only way they would 3 in a row.
The only way they would change it is if we don't go all out at the Fulham game midweek, which I feel like Ange might. So the only thing I can say is we may see a change in maybe Skip and Højbjerg coming in instead of Basuma and Sarr. We may see, the defense change. Royal might start. Davies might start on the left. We might see Solomon or Perisic start over the main guys because we do have that cup game in midweek. And I think that'll something that Ange is looking to, and I think Ange will go for it because Ange wants to win everything, and he needs to win something for us, right? So that's something that I don't think we've touched on, but I can't disagree with what you're saying. It's just I feel like the verdict on Richie shouldn't be out just yet, but I'm giving him 2 games if he starts to score, and if he doesn't, then I'm happy to see Veliz play, like you said, Brad. I'm happy to see the young guy come in and see what he can do. He adds a bit of height to our crosses too, which Richie doesn't. Obviously Sonny won't either because we've lost that height in the box. So I think Veliz might be a secret weapon that we have towards the back end when teams start figuring out Ange's player feet system. So we've pretty much covered changes and the team. We all think the team's pretty much the same team apart from Maddison. With maybe a swap of Richarlison and with Perisic. So I'm going to go for a match prediction now, a score prediction. Delane, what do you think the score's going to be? Do you think we're going to win? Do you think we're going to whitewash it? Do you think we're going to be a tight game?
I'm thinking like a 3-1. For some reason I got a 3-1. But 3-1. To score goals. I'm hoping Sonny gets on the score sheet. Maybe Sarr. Look, I'll go Sarr again. He might get on the score sheet again.
Yeah, he's popping off.
He's popping off. I think everyone's coming out and say he's Sasa Torre. So they're calling him Sasa Torre now. So I mean, look, we can't look what he's done. He's done great, but I don't want to give him too much. Give him too much of a big head. Maybe Gio will score a goal. I don't know. Look, it's hard. It's really hard to know.
Let's go for your score prediction, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, no, I think 3-1 is my score prediction. 3-1.
I'm going 3-0.
I thought you said it'd be a close game, Bradley.
No, then I got thinking. It's like, nah, we will be all right. I think we'll dominate this game and just shut it out. And honestly, if Richie starts, I want to see Richie get a goal or 2 goals this game. He has to, otherwise, like you said, see ya. But we'll see. It's so hard to pick the scores right now though because everyone's scoring. So
yeah, it seemed like every team is scoring at the moment for fun. I'm going to go for 2-0.
Midfield scoring, but 2, bro. Like
I'm going to go for 2-0 purely because our front 3 hasn't started yet. Once they start, I'll predict higher scores. I did predict the game to be 3-1 against Brentford, and it was 2-2. So I was halfway there. Got the right number of goals, just not the right position of the goals. But I'm going to go 2-0. I think we're going to shut them out. I don't think Solanke and that are going to do much up front. I do think we will overpower them in the midfield. And I feel like one of the front 3 are going to get a goal this game to start the front 3 off. So we've gone through that, guys. So we'll be bit of change this week with how we do our weekly streams. Unfortunately, we all have plans this Saturday as the game kicks off at 9:30. Prime time for all of us to have plans on a Saturday. So instead of doing a live watch along, I'll be doing a live reaction straight after the game. Can't give you a set time because obviously with the new rules of the injury time, we never know when the game's going to fucking finish. But make sure you are there, guys, for the post-match reaction. Hopefully the boys can get on. If not, I will be there. And you can catch me shortly in half an hour, I guess, before this video comes up. People might not be able to see it on the Hotspur Hood, but there is some things cooking with Tommy over there. But apart from that, guys, thank you both for jumping on.
So good, bro.
and giving us your time. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel, guys. Like I said, comment down below how you feel like we're going to go, what team's going to run out, and if you would make any team changes from the United game. And yeah, guys, stay safe, take it easy, and as we always say here at Totalozspurs, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, guys.
Stay Spursy, guys.